Around 2334 BCE, Sargon established the world's first empire from Akkad. This empire unified Sumerian city-states, marking a political revolution. A religious transformation accompanied this, merging Akkadian Semitic traditions with Sumerian faith. This synthesis profoundly influenced Mesopotamian religion for over 2 millennia. Between 4000 and 3000 BCE, the Akkadians migrated into Mesopotamia. They encountered established Sumerian religious traditions already present in the region. For centuries, both Akkadian and Sumerian cultures coexisted, with Sumerian culture being dominant. Sargon's political unification of Mesopotamia marked a turning point. This unification initiated a profound process of religious syncretism between the two cultures. The Akkadian religious approach did not involve abandoning their own heritage. Instead, they integrated their Semitic gods with existing Sumerian deities. This process involved identifying their own deities with the Sumerian pantheon. This identification led to a significant blending of religious traditions. It was a process of integration rather than a complete replacement of beliefs. New religious forms emerged while preserving older, established elements. Sumerian gods underwent reinterpretation through a process of cultural synthesis. For example, the Sumerian deity An was re-identified as Anu. Similarly, Enki became Ea, and Inanna was transformed into Ishtar. This fusion created a new religious framework, integrating both cultural legacies. Akkadian-influenced religion featured a tendency towards henotheism. Henotheism involves the worship of fewer deities, elevating them to greater power. This acknowledged the existence of multiple gods within their pantheon. However, it prioritized one or a select few as supreme beings. The Akkadian pantheon adapted elements from Sumerian religious traditions. It introduced new names and shifted emphasis among its deities. Anu, the Sky Father, stood at the apex of the Akkadian pantheon. Anu, evolving from Sumerian An, became a more distant, supreme authority, responsible for cosmic order. Enlil, son of Anu, was a prominent deity in Mesopotamian mythology. He held dominion over the air, wind, and storms, wielding immense power. His primary responsibilities included enforcing divine decrees throughout the cosmos. Enlil was also tasked with maintaining cosmic balance and order in the universe. Furthermore, he was crucial for ensuring the fertility of the land, vital for sustenance. This central and active role was inherited from ancient Sumerian religious traditions. Ea, known as the Sumerian Enki, was a prominent deity in Mesopotamian mythology. He governed wisdom, magic, and the fresh waters found beneath the earth's surface. Possessing extensive knowledge, Ea was credited with the creation of humanity. His foresight saved life from a divine flood by warning the righteous Utnapishtim. Ishtar, known as Inanna in Sumerian, was a prominent goddess in the Akkadian pantheon. She held the revered title of Queen of Heaven, signifying her celestial importance. Ishtar was the deity associated with love, sexuality, and fertility, embodying life-giving forces. Conversely, she also represented war and destruction, showcasing her complex nature. This dual aspect reflected both the creative and destructive forces of the natural world. Her descent into the underworld is a central and well-known Mesopotamian myth. Ancient Mesopotamian civilizations revered a pantheon of deities. Shamash, known as Utu in Sumerian, was a prominent sun god. He was also revered as the divine dispenser of justice and righteousness. The famous law code of Hammurabi attributed its legal authority to Shamash. Beyond major deities, numerous lesser gods and goddesses existed. These figures, along with demons and spirits, collectively maintain the cosmic order. Naram-Sin, Sargon's grandson, introduced a major theological change in Akkadian religion. He made the unprecedented claim of being a god himself. This act was a radical departure from previous Mesopotamian religious practices. Naram-Sin was the first ruler to assert divine status. Naram-Sin's deification marked a significant historical shift in ancient Mesopotamian kingship. This innovation elevated the living king to the status of a deity. It fundamentally altered the traditional understanding of royal authority. The ruler was now positioned among the gods, not merely as their representative. This act redefined the relationship between divine power and earthly governance. The Besetki statue inscription provides details regarding Naram-Sin's deification. Naram-Sin, a powerful Akkadian ruler, faced a significant rebellion. After successfully quelling this uprising, his status among his people grew immensely. The citizens of Akkad then made a unique request to their great gods. They asked for Naram-Sin to be granted divine status for their city. This divine recognition led to the construction of a temple in his honor. Ancient inscriptions often included curse formulas to protect their sanctity and permanence. These formulas were typical for the period, reflecting a common belief in divine retribution. The inscription explicitly stated that anyone who dared to remove it would face severe consequences. Such acts would invoke divine wrath, leading to the destruction of their foundations by the gods. Furthermore, the curse threatened the complete annihilation of their progeny, ensuring lasting deterrence. Akkadian religious practice encompassed more than just mythological narratives. It included a rich tradition of detailed ritual texts. The Institute for the Study of the Ancient World has documented these texts. These texts span a period of over 2 millennia. They represent some of the earliest known ritual texts globally. Ancient ritual texts served as comprehensive guides for seeking divine support across various life situations. These texts provided instructions for ensuring the proper completion of sacrifices and temple banquets. They also detailed procedures for significant events, such as royal installations and sacred instrument repair. A crucial aspect of these texts involved rituals for the care of the deceased and protection against the evil eye. The scope of these ritual instructions encompassed daily practices, ensuring continuous divine favor. Furthermore, the texts outline monthly and annual rituals, establishing a structured religious calendar. Akkadian ritual texts provide crucial insights into ancient Mesopotamian beliefs and cultural practices. These texts reveal a rich tapestry of religious rituals performed in Mesopotamia. Many of these ancient rituals exhibit striking parallels with practices described in the Bible. For instance, Akkadian substitution rituals are comparable to the scapegoat ritual in Leviticus 16. This comparison highlights deep cultural and religious connections across the ancient Near East. Such textual analysis helps understand the shared cultural heritage of the region. Ancient ritual texts varied significantly in length and complexity. Some rituals were concise, like a 2-2 line text for a crying baby. Others were extensive, such as a 3-8-8 line ritual for the New Year's festival. These texts depicted a world where divine and human realms constantly interacted. Proper ritual performance was believed to maintain cosmic order and balance. Akkadian religion profoundly influenced the daily lives of its adherents. This influence manifested through a system of taboos and commandments. These religious directives governed various aspects of everyday conduct. For example, a surviving Akkadian commandment prohibits pointing at a lamp. This demonstrates how religious thinking permeated even ordinary actions and gestures. Comparative anthropology examines cultural practices across different societies. Scholars like Marshall Solon studied groups such as the Inuktitut people. Their work reveals how seemingly arbitrary prohibitions are deeply rooted in religious thought. This indicates that the sacred permeated daily life, extending beyond formal religious structures. The Akkadians developed a unique system for structuring time, distinct from modern calendrical methods. Instead of numerical designations, each year was identified by a significant event. These events were primarily religious or political in nature, reflecting societal priorities. Examples include the construction of temples or notable military victories. This practice highlights the profound influence of religion on their perception and organization of time. The year naming system provided a historical record embedded within their chronological framework. The Akkadian Empire collapsed around 2154 BCE, marking a significant historical transition. Despite its political dissolution, the empire's religious legacy endured. The collapse led to the formation of 2 new Akkadian-speaking states. These states were known as Assyria and Babylon, emerging from the former empire's territory. Both Assyria and Babylon continued the religious synthesis established by the Akkadians. In Assyria, the patron deity Ashur rose to significant prominence, becoming a central figure in their religious practices. Concurrently, in Babylon, the god Marduk achieved supreme status, dominating the Babylonian pantheon. Both Assyrian and Babylonian religious traditions were built upon the foundations of earlier Akkadian religion. These foundations included shared pantheons, myths, rituals, and the understanding of divine royal relationships. Akkadian religious ideas extended their influence far beyond the Mesopotamian region. These concepts significantly impacted the religious traditions of subsequent civilizations. Key narratives, such as creation myths, originated in Akkadian religious thought. The ancient flood story also finds its roots within Akkadian religious traditions. The narrative of the Tower of Babel is another example, transmitted by Akkadian scribes. Akkadian religion was a prominent belief system in ancient Mesopotamia. Between the 1st and 5th centuries CE, Akkadian religion gradually transitioned to Christianity. Despite this shift, its gods and narratives are preserved through ancient clay tablets. These tablets represent the earliest religious texts of the First Empire. They have been preserved for millennia within the Mesopotamian earth, offering invaluable insights